In this video, I'm going to go over duplicating objects or copying objects. Because in Maya, a lot of times you're going to make scenes with lots and lots of different elements, lots of different pieces. And many times you're going to either start with one object and modify and change it and move it around and copy it, or you're going to have a whole variety of objects and you're going to make like arrays of things, like the columns or something like that. So we'll start off with our general little cube there. I'm going to type F for frame, which zooms me in, okay? Now I'm going to want to zoom out a little bit, so I'm going to use the Alt or Option key and the right mouse button to zoom out a little bit. And then I'm going to pan over a little bit with the middle mouse button here. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to duplicate this cube, and I'm going to show you all the different ways we can do that. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go up to the Edit menu here, and I'm going to go to Duplicate. Okay. Now I duplicated. I can see in the outliner here, I have now two objects here. Okay. So I need to figure out where that thing is. So I'll tell you. The key thing is Maya just duplicates wherever the original object was. So now I have to hit the move command, and I'm going to move it over. Okay. So I moved over one space, and then you can, well, actually two spaces. So you can see that over here in the translate grid here, okay? Now, there's another thing I like to do. Well, first thing, I like to generally switch on my wireframe unshaded, just lets you see things a little better. And I also, too, I'm going to show you another trick, too. If you're duplicating a lot of the same object, similar kinds of objects, actually, let me go back to my select mode. I like to pick things just in select mode, so I don't have any chance of moving something. So you can double click in here, okay? And I'm going to get rid of that P there. And I'm going to get this, I'm going to call this underscore GO underscore O1, okay? And I'm going to name the next object the similar thing. So I'm going to delete that P, and I'm going to backspace there. I'm going to go underscore GEO underscore O2, okay? All right, so now I have my objects have different unique names. I'm going to click over there. I'm going to move this over here, okay? So now I'm going to pick on my cube. I'm going to pick on it a different way. I'm going to pick on it in the outliner, okay, just show you different ways of picking things. And then I'm going to go over here to edit, and I'm going to go down to duplicate. But instead of just clicking on that button, what I'm going to do, I notice these over here. Those are hotkeys. I've mentioned those a little bit before, but you'll see in Maya, if something has a hotkey, it'll have these, it'll have it listed here. So I see there's Control D. So I'm going to go back out in the window. I'm going to pick it again. My mouse is getting a little sticky there. All right. And then I'm going to go to Control D. So again, nothing's happened because it duplicates right in the same space. But if you noticed here in the outliner as well, something else has happened. Now, this has got the number, and it's copied it with a sequential number on it, which this is nice because if you're making little parts and you have the same thing, it's nice. You can just have the same name and they'll just keep having more numbers, okay? So, all right, now I'm going to move that. I'm going to move it over two spaces just like the other one, okay? So now I'm going to move this whole scene over a little bit because I have one other way I'm going to do this, okay? All right, so now I want to duplicate this one here. And there's one other way we can do things. So I'm going to pick the object, okay? And then I'm going to hold the Shift key, and I'm going to click on the axis where I want to move. You see, notice that on the screen it says clone. So now it's going to allow me to move this object. And there we go. So now we have cube GO04, okay? And I'm going to hit F for frame, and zoom out for all of them. And there we go. So that's the way we duplicate our objects here. So now we have all the objects there, and they have nice names, sequential names, and they've been moved over. They've all been moved very cleanly. Everyone is 2 units over. Okay, so there you go. That's it for duplicating. Those are the main ways for duplicating.